Hello lovely people, how are you doing? Hope you're well. Welcome back to the garden. I am continuing same day as that last video you saw, but it got a little bit noisy out here for about an hour or so, so I stopped filming, and this is so sweet. I've been just kind of clearing up, tidying up, say with the squash that you saw me harvest, getting the old squash material, chopping it up for the compost. I took out the plant of the uchikikuri squash, and what's adorable is I've been disturbing the soil a bit as I've been going, so pulling roots out, and I think she's somewhere on the trellis in there. The most adorable tiny little robin has kept me company for the last hour, singing to me. This is perfect territory for these little birds because there's the viburnum, the jasmine, the trellis. There's lots of cover for them. They can pop down onto the soil, peck away at worms, grubs, whatever they find. So in actual fact, I wasn't going to do anything here, but that's where the tomato bags had been sat for the last 4 weeks or so. Can't remember how long now. And so after I'd moved them and tipped them out, I've got one now tipped out on the brassica bed that's to come. That's today's job, or this afternoon's. So I just forked that soil over. I mean, I wasn't, forking it, just kind of scratching, fluffing the surface up a bit. So she's been down there hopping around, merrily scoffing her little heart out, little stomach out. And just as I turn the camera on now, she's just jumped up onto the wall with a great big green caterpillar, which I'm really glad of because today it's all about the brassicas. Mine that I rescued, and then the 4 that Paul brought. Actually, hang on, let me get them to show you. So these are they, gorgeous dazzling blue kale, but look, they've been really massacred. And I was, So I was looking earlier on, I was looking under the leaves, looking all over, and just there's one. I'm going to be feeding the robin in a second. I have just seen a caterpillar. Sorry, buddy. Where's my robin when I need her? Alright, pop it on the soil there. She'll find it. Yeah, they've been really quite ferociously attacked. So I've got ready behind, I'm sitting on it. I've got those bits of net that I put on mine. But honestly, we're at the end of October, and I haven't seen any butterflies for a couple of weeks or so. So I really hope that that's the end of cabbage whites laying their eggs on my on my dinner. It's not your dinner, little caterpillars, it's my dinner. Anyway, so that's the plan today, is to get brassicas in. I'll tell you a couple of things about them as we go. I've got the uchikikuri out, but now I'm turning my attention to the plant in front. So come on, let's get on with the work. And hopefully little Miss Robin will hop back. She was singing so beautifully to me, and obviously she must have been singing to me and me alone. She was singing to me to say, "Can you feed me some more grubs, Vivi?" And I said, "I certainly can." Pretty wee thing. Anyway, let's get the work on, and let's get on with the work. Just a quick note before I do, it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, is when you're about to net something, before you put the nets on, do have a really, really thorough look through them to find whatever it is that's trying to destroy your supper before you put the nets on. There's no point in putting the nets on if there are still caterpillars in there. I think I've got them all now. I found 2, so I think that's it, hopefully. Right, on with the work. This lovely mass here, it's the fennel that bolted. Shame I didn't get any bulbs, never mind. It was such a hot, dry summer, I'm not surprised. But look, it's in the way now. So I was going to keep it for the seed. I can have the seed for tea or leave the seed for birds. but it's in the way of me. I've just seen it sprouting again. It's in the way of me getting brassicas in. But also I do have one of the grow bags. Actually, I can cut this string now. I just put this cane in to get them off the patio whilst I was doing other things on the patio, because I didn't want to keep tripping on it. Yeah, I've got one of the grow bags. I've actually got some fennel in, so there will be seed for the birds. And then this is one of my kales that came back after having been massacred, absolutely massacred by caterpillars. Well, you saw. So it's in a grow bag, and I wondered about leaving it in the grow bag, but I don't know. I'm really tempted to put it into the soil. Dare I disturb it? We'll have a think on. But first of all, I'm going to get the fennel out and all chopped up, and then I can get over to the back corner there where the uchikikuri root was, and just do that last little tiny bit of weeding in the corner, so that this will be a good clean bed. Well, I'm sure there's going to be stuff coming back in the spring, such as Spanish bluebells. But in the meantime, it seems a shame to pull these out, but because, let me show you. Look how they're sprouting again. Now, you could use these, take these off, chop them up, add them to something you're cooking, but yeah, I mean, I really don't need to. So it can all just get chopped. I tell you what I'll do, I'm going to do the chopping later. Let's get on with the planting. So in the meantime, also off camera, I took the second lavender, why am I saying lavender? The second tomato grow bag, the long plastic grow bag, not the black ones. That's gone on this bed and has been kind of spread around a little bit. Right, I'm going to get into that weeding and then we'll reconvene and start planting. So, just as I did with the broad beans, I'm going to sort of, let's get that out of the way, roughly lay them out and see if I'm happy with their spacing. Thank you, Paul. So, this is dazzling blue kale, and you can treat it as something of a cut and come again veg. So have a bit, cut a bit off, enjoy it, let it re-sprout, carry on enjoying it. So I do a quincunx again. I'm still debating having that big one of mine in here. If I have the big one of mine at the front, I can be harvesting from it, whilst these little ones from Paul recover from their hammering. I think that's what I'm going to do. My indecision is final. Let's see how that might be. Another bit of kit I didn't bring from London was my spade. So, because actually what I'd like to... there was some root on the bottom. I thought it's come out, but I don't think it's the kale. Because I don't want to disturb its root too much. Would you? So, the reason I was mentioning spade is because I suppose ideally I'd like to dig a big hole and get as much of the container in there. Ooh, it might be a fiddle, but I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to just change your angle a bit so you can see slightly better what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to give it a go. I've just taken a layer off. Yay! That's the thing, isn't it? If you're a bit chilly, go and do some work in the garden. There will be all sorts of bits and bobs of root left from plantings in the summer. That looks like, well, it's going to be fennel root, isn't it? Because there was fennel here. I've talked before about when you're removing plants, do look at the roots and look at the roots of your vegetables anyway, so you learn more about them, but especially look at the roots of your weeds, because I know that that's not, for instance, it's not bindweed, it's not any of those horrible nasties, but if you've never looked at, had a really close look at bindweed when you've taken it out of the ground, you wouldn't know, would you? So, yeah, I'm mentioning it because I feel perfectly confident about planting in this hole and not thinking, oh my goodness, what's that horrible weed? It's not, it's roots. So, how is this going to work? One of those jobs where 2 pairs of hands might... Sorry, plant. I'm sorry, I'm woman handling you. But I hope once you're in the soil and you get your roots down into the soil, you'll thank me. Okay, not too bad. Getting there, getting there, getting there. Whoopla. Oh. Hold on. Right. Okay, it's well and truly flopped over, but I'm going to give it a stake to help it be upright. Actually, let's get that now before I start ferning. Because the one thing, the one thing when you're planting brassicas is they need to be really, really firmed in. So let's bring, I've got a face full of brassica. So before I put any more soil on it, I'm going to put my boot to it. Actually, I'm going to hold on to the wall and then I can really give it some welly, pardon the pun, in my wellies. Really, really, really firm. And then when you think you've firmed it enough, go back in and firm it again. So for instance, oh, watch out worm, on this side. I don't know if you can get a sense of how much give there is there. Yeah, good. Whoop. What was I saying the other day about... You're down there, I'm up here, I mean. What was the other day I was saying about cancel your gym membership, get in the garden. So then I will get some string shortly and tie this one in. Okay, good. What I'm hoping now is that, because obviously the roots were only had that much depth in the bag, now they can keep going down if they want to. Okay, good. I'm glad that one's in. And like I said, I'll pop one of Paul's ones is going to go just towards the back there that's really straggled, and hopefully give it some space and time to recover. In the meantime, I can be harvesting from this one. Oh, I need to bring you up a bit now. Yeah, I can harvest from this one. Okay, let's get the others planted. When you're planting brassicas, yes, firm, 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 but also you can plant them a little deeper. I'm going to plant this one a little bit deeper. It just helps it to really sort of stabilise. Gosh, they're sopping wet, everything's sopping wet. Just helps to really sort of stabilise them. Another bit of root. Now, just get this one firmed in. Oops. Go on, all the way, hold the wall. So I'm going to pop a stake in for it now, but I'm not going to tie it to the stake yet. And it's not really big enough to be tied yet anyway. But part of the reason I'm not going to tie it to the stake yet is because I'm going to get it covered in that little bit of net I've got. And then once it's getting a bit more established, and as I say, I think someone's jumping on that bin over the back. Yeah, once they're more established and the butterflies really have finished for the year, nets can come off. Hopefully it's gotten a bit bigger, get it tied into its support. Yay! They look a bit mad with their nets on. Right, now I've got... Oh, Robin's back. Hello. She's getting the caterpillar that was on these I put over on the soil. It's very big. I'm not going to try and move the camera and show her to you, because by the time I pick it up she'll have gone. Now, spare garlic. So I think, once again, laying out on the soil so I can see what I've got. And then what I'll do for each of them, I'll put a marker in for each and every one of them, just for now, so I remember where they are. But then once they're up, all the markers can come out, because they're not the most... Can you hear her singing? She's saying, "Another caterpillar, please, Vivi, another caterpillar." The gardener's friend. It's that time of year, isn't it, when the robins are following us gardeners very closely, because they know we're going to dig them up a couple of gorgeous, yummy, fat worms or grubs of some description. How many am I going to get in? Oh, and that's the remaining Isle of Wight clove. Let me show you the difference. That's the Isle of Wight. That's a regular one. It's huge. I think that has to have pride of place. I think I'm going to swap these two out and have maybe just the Isle of Wight on its own, right there. Yeah, good. And of course, as we get into next spring, as the brassicas are coming to an end, and as they grow taller, harvest bottom leaves first, so more and more light will hit the garlic where they're growing. It's going to be a little bit ad hoc, but yeah, might as well pop them in, eh? Oh, that's my naughty knees. I think that will do. Right, I'll get these in, and then we'll reconvene to see if anything else needs to happen this afternoon. Cool, I think that's a bit greedy. Doesn't like to focus that close. That worm's bigger than her. It's the old adage. How do you eat a huge worm? One bite at a time. Hello, beautiful. Thank you for helping with the garden tidy up. Doesn't want to focus. He's come back out. Right, well this isn't going to get the garlic planted, is it? So I'm going to leave you to your feast and I'm going to get on with my work. But thank you for your company, little one. Oh, another big one. Her eyes are bigger than her stomach. Nearly done. Nearly done. Okay, let me show you where I'm up to. What I didn't do today is I was going to plant there. That can wait. Okay, so I've got 3 brassicas still in bags. They're still kind of coming back. This is Rolinero. Was it Dazzling Blue? One of them was Purple Sprouting. I don't know anymore, but I'll eat them. And then the kale of mine that did come back, and then the 4 from Paul with their little nets on. The little miniature graveyard. They look like headstones. That's the garlic. The one with 2, that's the Isle of Wight garlic. So I've rationalised some cuttings that hadn't worked. They've been tipped out, pots put away, foxgloves, yay! And obviously now I've got my 3 rows of broad beans in. Really pleased about that. Mesh back on. I think I might have to get some mesh or something over here, because otherwise next door's cat's going to think it's a beautiful latrine. And then in front, 4 bags. These are all Isle of Wight garlic, 5 in each, so that should be hopefully 20 bulbs. Oh, let me show you, this is one of my pots of jasmine cuttings. This one, I put it over here because it gets a little bit of sun, but look, it's flowered. Amazing. So obviously that one has rooted. That's one of the pots. That's the other. That's the Taunton Dean, which is a perennial kale, which Paul brought. We're trying to remember, I didn't take a cutting from mine before I left London, but I think Paul's was originally a cutting from mine that I gave him. So this cutting may actually be from a plant, from a cutting that I gave Paul, if that makes sense. It might have come full circle. I've just put all the flower pots here for now. Oh, my neighbour's chopping wood next door, that's what you can, the banging. Just for now, a little bit of shelter here. But again, still trying to put out little blooms. Sweet. And that's the fennel I was mentioning that's coming to seed. So the birds can have that. And now all the bags have been emptied of whatever material was in there, chopped, but also not just empty the plant material, empty of weeds as well. So these 3 also now empty, also weeded in the top of the rows. I've left the moss and the mind your own business. So yeah, I'm quite pleased. It's great to basically have the winter garden in. Woohoo! I'm delighted. I'm going to wrap up quite quickly now because I think I've got about 5 minutes of battery left, but more than that, it's starting to get dark. I think this rain, we've had weather warnings about it's going to be really, really heavy, flooding, It's due in about an hour. Looks like it wants to do it sooner. But yeah, so I'm so pleased. It may not look much, what I've done today, or it's been about 4 hours, I think, 3.5, 4 hours. It may not look much to some, but considering this morning when I got out of bed, I was using my stick indoors and I was really struggling and the pain was excruciating, and I thought I just can't do today. But I thought you have to because once that rain starts, you're not going to be able to do this planting. So yeah, I'm glad I persevered, and it just shows, doesn't it, that yeah, okay, I'm in pain. I was going to be in pain today, whatever I did. So just get stuck in, and especially when it comes to our food growing. I'm really, really, really happy to get those bits in today. And if I get some broad beans next year, I'll be so happy because I love them. I've just out the corner of my eye spotted my hose. It's now reeled up again. Do you remember? Because it was all, it's kind of all over the place down the side alley. So that needs to go into the shed. I'll pop that in now before this rain comes. But yeah, neighbour one side chopping wood, neighbour another side coming out to their wood pile. Everyone's getting ready to hunker down and sit by a nice warm fire. I, on the other hand, I'm going to go in, and I've got I just left them out here from earlier, the squash. Remember I said the uchikikuri needs dealing with pronto because the skin's a bit scratched. I can do it sitting down. I can sit at the kitchen table to do that prep rather than standing chopping, because these knees are saying, oh, that's it, over and out. What a happy day in the garden. The robin. Oh, just to say very quickly before I go, I'm particularly happy to see her because until now, the only birds I've had in the garden, sparrows, they're maniacs. I love them. Crazy sparrows every day. The wood pigeons, the crows and the seagulls. That's it, that's all I've had. So the little wee robin today, that's my first garden bird outside of house sparrows. I hope I can attract a few more other varieties, finches, tits, that sort of thing. That'll be really lovely. Anyway, her time here today made it so special. Loved it. All right, gorgeosities, before I kind of get all mushy about robins and time in the garden, and yeah, even if you're not feeling it, sometimes it's worth pushing through and trying to do it, because the sense of achievement when you do is just great. I'm going to sleep much more easily tonight knowing that I got this done. Yay! I was going to say, now I need a lovely hot bath. I need a nice hot shower, a sit-down shower. Waffling. Until the next one, lovelies, please look after yourselves. Cheerio.